Okay, so I want to share a cool way to create and connect two art journal pages together so that you can have a double page spread. So I'm using the Grumbacher In and Out pages, my go-to journal. Pages come right out, can go right back in. Doesn't matter which end you leave the perforated or the tabs on, this end or this end, completely up to you. So what you're going to want to have on hand, of course, are your journal pages. I took 2 out. I also have some drywall tape. Got this at Lowe's. It's sticker backed, and I like it because it's paper versus the mesh plastic. And this one is circles. And again, got it at Lowe's. And then you can also use masking tape if you don't have the drywall tape. And this is actually about the width that you want it. So you'll have to cut down the drywall tape with some scissors. Unless you want to use the whole width of the drywall tape, completely up to you. Okay, so I'm using some matte medium. And then also once I'm done putting the pages together, I'll show you how I gesso over it. So I want to take my one page, which I know the tabs are going to be on this side. Now, this is already perforated. This page is perforated. Problem is, if I use that perforation for my bending ability on the page, after time that might give out and wear out. So I would recommend that you take a ruler and create a new fold just past that perforated edge. So I'm just going to take a pencil. I'm using a T-square. It'll be easy to keep that in place, keep your page in place. But what I'm going to do is just push that right up against the ruler. If you have a metal ruler, that'll work great. But I want you to see is there's a new edge just past that perforation, okay? I'm going to have a little bit more stability here. Okay, so let's move that out of the way. And I went ahead and left the tabs on the page because I wanted that extra secure connection between the two pages. So notice how those will lay into each other, and that one can fold over. Now there's some cool techniques you can do to cut this out. Butterfly wings, put a really pretty, edge along it, tear it to make it a deckled edge. The possibilities really are endless. This one I just pretty much left with it open and close, okay? So what I want to do now is take the matte medium. If you don't have a matte medium, you can use any kind of a glue. Even a decoupage medium will work. And a large brush. And I'm just going to go right over that tab. I'm going to lay my page in place. Wipe off this excess matte medium, which isn't going to mess up your page at all. You want to make sure that it's secured. So make sure you put enough matte medium there. I'm going to flip it over. Let's wipe this up. You do want to work on a protected surface as well. Okay, now you could leave it here. That matte medium would probably hold forever. However, I wanted there to be a little bit extra security in holding that together. So I used the circular drywall tape, and I just cut that to size. Again, you could leave it the whole width if you wanted to. You want to pick right where it bends. and where it goes over onto the other page. So I'm just going to cut that. And if you have any excess over the page, you can always cut that off afterwards. And again, this is sticker backed. So this drywall tape is a little tricky to find where that sticker backing comes off the paper. There we go. Okay. Again, on my my other double page spread I showed you, I did cut it down, but I'm just going to go ahead and leave it the width of the tape. So again, you want to get it right up to the edge of that score that you made. Lay that in place. Okay, I'm going to flip that over. Make sure that I have a nice, secure, flat area there. All right. Now, you want that matte medium to completely dry, which I'm going to do with a heat tool. And then to cover this up, now I already know that I'm going to have some texture from the tape, and I'm fine with that. You'll have less texture if you use masking tape. And then I'm going to use some gesso. Now you can apply gesso many different ways. I'm just going to show you with a big brush how you can come right back over that page and I'll use that as part of my design on what I create on this side of the page. Now, another way is to use a palette knife. So I can load that palette knife up, get some really nice coverage there. That gesso right over it. Now, let me just show you for the sake of showing you how smooth. So instead of using the drywall tape, if you used the masking tape, I'm just going to show it to you right over here, the difference in the coverage of the gesso. So again, this is going to lay smooth and flat. And of course, you would cut it once it's over your seam. But when you go to put the gesso over it, let's use a brush first. You're going to have less texture and it won't be as visible as the drywall tape. So again, personal preference and choice on how you want to connect those pages. And if that's too much texture for you, you can always come back with a little sanding block and just sand some of that gesso off. I'm all about texture though. Okay, so there you can see the difference. If you use the masking tape in that seam, you're going to have less of a textured area. If you use the drywall tape, and again, you can cut that in half if you don't want it to be that wide, but once it's completely dry, you're going to be able to open your page with your double page spread and create. So hopefully that will help you connect and create a double page spread using drywall tape or masking tape in your art journal pages.